If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
I'm Rodney Williams.
And I'm Travis Holloway. Welcome to the Wealth Break Podcast, a real conversation about finance.
Let's be honest. Building wealth doesn't look the same for everyone.
I feel like sometimes being broke is a cycle and that we might have to revisit that.
And we're not stopping at success stories.
What happens when it doesn't go right? How do you cope with it?
Because wealth isn't just about money. It's about creating a life where you thrive and help others do the same.
Listen to the Wealth Break Podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Check out Vizio's complete lineup of home entertainment. From stunning smart TVs to immersive soundbars, Vizio has you covered. Experience entertainment like never before with hundreds of built-in apps, including Watch Free Plus for free live and on-demand TV, all ready to go right out of the box. You can even stream your favorite music, radio, and podcasts with the iHeartRadio app, available on every Vizio smart TV. Transform your entertainment with incredible picture quality and next-level audio. Visit Vizio.com today.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. And most people, if you've been following the news, are aware of what has been happening with the Jimmy Kimmel Live show and that it is back tonight. I'm quite sure it's either they're taping right now, they're almost done, and it'll air on the East Coast in the next hour or so. Hopefully we'll be able to get the YouTube of his monologue, and that will answer everybody's questions. If he's going to address the controversy, is he going to apologize? I doubt it, but if he were, you would hear it tonight. Is he going to somehow make light of it? Is he going to, double down in some way? All those questions would be answered in the monologue, because that is where the answers would come. It wouldn't come later in the show. So when that monologue comes out and everyone gets a sense of it, and no one, from what I've seen, nothing has appeared on any of the trades or
CNN has something.
CNN?
Their Chiron says he defended free speech and was emotional.
Did they drop any audio, or there's just like a transcript or just a...
They got a panel talking about it right now. They must be talking to people coming out of the show.
That's what it sounds like. Okay. All right,
but I'll keep an eye on it.
All right. Yeah, we'll watch, and then we'll get a better sense of what he actually said, and we don't have to speculate. Okay, so if anything, if what Mark says is accurate, then he addressed it, but not necessarily directly. He talked about the larger issue of free speech and the larger issue of comedy and dialogue in America today. I don't know where this is going to go from here, and what I mean by that is we know that Sinclair Media, we know that Nexstar, they are preempting Jimmy Kimmel tonight and for the foreseeable future. And without knowing what the contract language is as far as airing the show, don't know how long they can do this without making some sort of final decision.
I had read, and I need to confirm this with a little bit more homework, that they only really have the option of preempting a certain number of shows before they're in breach of their contract.
Yes, I know that's true, but we just don't know the number, and we don't know the reasoning which can be used. And I don't think it's a very long time. I think you could do it like a week or something. I don't think you can do it for an inordinate amount of time or in perpetuity. So this is going to have to break one way or the other relatively soon. I don't know what Nexstar is waiting on. I don't know what Sinclair is waiting on. I've read places where they expected or demanded that Jimmy Kimmel were to make a public apology and also some sort of financial pledge to the family.
Yeah, a donation, which is kind of weird extortion, it seems like, on its face.
It is. It is exactly that, because it's quid pro quo, this for that, and you're holding the show hostage. I don't think that's going to happen, but stranger things have happened in the business of entertainment. And also beyond this moment with Jimmy Kimmel, what happens with Seth Meyers? What happens with Jimmy Fallon the next time they want to make some sort of joke which is near the subject matter? It doesn't even have to be about Charlie Kirk. It doesn't have to be about that incident, but just somewhere around the sensibilities and their sensitivities. I don't know what's going to happen. I think everyone is watching Jimmy Kimmel as, I guess, the yardstick, because we didn't really get it with Stephen Colbert because he never left air. Jimmy Kimmel, he was taken off the air and suspended. Now that he's back, and this is something that I try to let people know as far as my limited knowledge, what happens behind the scenes. There is a union aspect for SAG-AFTRA. There are the contracts with the various affiliates that we were just talking about that are also a consideration. There's the contract of Jimmy Kimmel as far as, I think he's owed, 48 months left on his contract. So if they were to fire him, they would have to pay him out some exorbitant amount of money. And Disney/ABC doesn't want to do that unless they are forced to do that.
Especially after losing at least $4 billion in the last week. They really took a hit from the protests and the cancellations. Now, we should be clear that President Trump was gunning for all the late night shows host well before anything having to do with Charlie Kirk, and this seemed to be the catalyst. And what's weird to me about this is that of all of them, Jimmy Fallon really has tried to lie low, but Trump still wants him as well.
Yes, and look, it's not going to end with Jimmy Kimmel. In other words, there are going to be other situations in the news in which these late night hosts are going to make fun of President Trump or those in his orbit. That's not going to change. The only question is how the Trump administration and also those close to the Trump administration vis-a-vis like the FCC or those who are sympathetic to him, how they will respond. I don't know if Sinclair can take the stance that they're just going to take off any and all late night television that they don't like down the line. I don't know if that is a realistic business model. Let me put it that way.
Well, you know what Sinclair's business reputation is? They're infamous for being on message with,
they're consistent
with their local news,
yes,
making them all repeat the same scripts over and over again. They're not exactly the most independent of media and news outlets.
No, they're not. And they're very clear that they represent a very specific point of view on the political spectrum. And they want their affiliates to hew very closely to that. I don't know if that is sustainable long term, given what happened here, because if you have Sinclair and Nexstar making these decisions in the future around, I'll say, less controversial issues, trying to forcibly what's the word I'm looking for? Guide programs in a certain direction, there's going to be some lawsuits coming. And I think Disney wanted to avoid the lawsuit from Jimmy Kimmel here, which could have made this far worse. If you fire him outright, Jimmy Kimmel sues them all to hell. Everyone.
Yeah, as I mentioned, some analysts that I have been paying attention to said that if Kimmel got serious about suing, he could own ABC rather, because the chain coming from the top to what happened to him was really, really explicit.
And you have those like Bob Iger, who are sitting in a really precarious situation. You're trying to manage the fortunes of Disney, big picture, and also ABC, little picture. But you're getting boycotted on both sides. You have the conservatives who are already mad at Disney about Snow White and everything, quote unquote, woke. So they were already boycotting all things Disney. Then you have the celebrities and the supposed left who were boycotting Disney and ABC because of Jimmy Kimmel. It was a lose-lose proposition. Now, to Mark's point, whenever you lose $4 billion, that's bad, but it could have gotten a hell of a lot worse the longer Jimmy Kimmel was not on the air, or there wasn't some sort of agreement made to bring him back on the air.
Yeah, people really rallied behind Kimmel. And to be clear, it's not a matter of whether you like Kimmel personally or think he's funny. It is a complete free speech and First Amendment issue.
I can't wait for this monologue. As soon as we have it, we will play it for you. It's later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640. We're live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. When we come back, we have to talk about the next generation of self-driving vehicles and how one step closer to the consumer market where you and I will get to have our own autonomous vehicle.
Oh, no. Is Tawala wearing some new jewelry today or a new set of clothing?
No, I think it's not new clothing, but I think he has a new car.
Another one?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to make any assumptions here.
Come on,
I don't want to jump to conclusions.
We've got to go to the news.
We've got to go to the news. Mark, you've got to give us the news.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Check out Vizio's complete lineup of home entertainment. From stunning smart TVs to immersive soundbars, Vizio has you covered. Experience entertainment like never before with hundreds of built-in apps, including Watch Free Plus for free live and on-demand TV, all ready to go right out of the box. You can even stream your favorite music, radio, and podcasts with the iHeartRadio app, available on every Vizio smart TV. Transform your entertainment with incredible picture quality and next-level audio. Visit Vizio.com today.
I'm Rodney Williams.
And I'm Travis Holloway. Welcome to the Wealth Break.
Let's be honest. Building wealth doesn't look the same for everyone. It's not just about saving, it's about investing. It's about navigating systems that weren't built for you, embracing your hustle, and relying on your community to create something bigger.
And that's exactly why we created the Wealth Break. We made something different, something more human. It's not just another financial podcast. It's a conversation about real life, real struggles, and real wins.
We're here to talk about the journey. You're hearing from people who've broken barriers, found creative ways to succeed, and learn to build wealth on their terms. Whether it's the first-time homeowner, a gig worker, or someone turning a side hustle into a six-figure business, we're bringing you their stories.
And we're not stopping at success stories. We're breaking down the realities, like what it means to take risk, how to navigate failure, and why resilience matters. Because wealth isn't about money. It's about creating a life where you can thrive and help others to do the same.
So if you're ready for a podcast as much as about people as it is about money, you're in the right place.
Listen to the Wealth Break podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Okay.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Later with Mo Kelly. Live everywhere on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. When we talk about autonomous vehicles, we talk about rideshare, we talk about the future of the automotive industry. And we've long said, well, actually, we've long argued about the future, whether it will be completely autonomous vehicles or not. I think it will get there. I don't think we're close to it. I don't know if our infrastructure is ready for it, but we're moving in that direction. And we also outwardly mused about the time in which we would have autonomous vehicles for you and me as consumers. It's getting closer and closer. There was a recent demonstration of this automated self-driving technology, but used for Nissan. And the demonstrator sedan, which was outfitted with 11 cameras, 5 radars, and the next generation sensor called LiDAR. And it maneuvered its way through downtown Tokyo. And you can see where all this is going. It's set to be available in 2027. It didn't say anything about rideshare. It said available in 2027, what I would perceive as consumers like you and me. And it may not be available in the United States, but whatever's done Nissan in Japan will eventually hit the United States. And you'd have to assume at this point the consumer market for autonomous vehicles is much closer than ever before. I don't know how soon I would be ready for it. I'm not even ready to get into a Waymo at this point, much less own my own autonomous vehicle. But I am honest enough to admit that this is where all the technology is going to be. Is it 5 years away, 10 years away? If I were to just give a best guess estimate, I would say inside of 20 years, and 20 years can go by pretty quick. Inside of 20 years, just about all cars will be autonomous.
Mo, you're discounting the fact that Elon Musk already has self-driving technology in the hands of people on the streets right now with Teslas. The only difference between you just getting just your normal, hey, I'm going to drive my Tesla, and getting a self-driving Tesla that can take you from point A to point B, park, all that, wait for you, help you find a charging station, do all of that through all of its AI.
No, it can drop you off and then go park.
And then go park, go home, and come back if you want to. And it can even go and charge itself. It can go and go. Look, is the price. It is a higher price for the self-driving technology, and they keep updating it. They keep updating the Tesla. So if that's in our hands right now, the next level is what companies like Nissan are working on, where it's not something that, to your point, where it's not something that you have to pay the extra fee for. It's just commonplace. It's, hey, here's this model self-driving. Here's that model self-driving. And when you say, do you have any non-self-driving? They'll say, well, those went out with like cars with CD players.
And gas.
Yeah.
No, I think we're saying the same thing where we already have varying levels of the technology. I just envision a world in which nobody's driving.
Yes, within 20 years. Yes, absolutely.
And that's good for me because I hopefully will not be driving in 20 years because I will be 70-something. So I don't want to drive. I hope that I would not lose my autonomy as far as driving. And this is the way that I would be able to maintain my mobility.
Well, at 70-something, the rapture may have already come.
Well, look, they got like 24 hours. 24 hours. I don't know who said this. I just saw it on threads bumping around. I should have seen who said it to give correct attribution. But they said that the rapture was not going to happen because if Jesus came back and if he happened to land anywhere in the United States, ICE would have deported his ass.
Yeah.
His name is Jesus.
They're not wrong.
They're not wrong.
Because Jesus is from the Middle East.
And he does strike people as kind of woke.
Right.
Yeah.
And if he walked around turning water into wine and everything and, bringing people back from the dead.
Welcome the stranger and all that. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Wearing robes and sandals.
Yeah. They would have arrested him. They would have beat him up and then threw him in the back of a van and disappeared his ass.
How you treat the least of us? What kind of commie talk is that?
Well, there's the Jesus of the Bible, and there's the Jesus of American post-biblical Christianity political party.
Hard to keep track.
It's not the same.
Oh, okay.
The Jesus in the Bible is not the same as the Jesus in the political rally. That's the way I can describe it.
Which one's the brown one?
The one in the Bible. that one's in the Bible.
Oh, okay.
There is a description of him in the Bible as far as woolly hair and bronze.
Okay, I got to get caught up on all this stuff, clearly.
Mark, especially before the rapture.
Especially.
It would be good because there might be a pop quiz upon being raptured.
Nobody wants to fail that.
Oh, no. You got one chance at it. You better get it right. No, but it's funny, but it's not funny because the concept of Jesus in America in 2025 vastly different from what's actually written in the Bible. That's all I'm saying. Because if you took all the things that Jesus said, things that Jesus believed, things that Jesus did, it probably would run in stark contrast to the people we call evangelicals right now. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I'm a person, look, I can trade scripture with some of the best of them, all right? So, and I have these conversations all the time as far as the person that people are worshiping, and they put Jesus or Christian on their social media profile, and then you have a couple of conversations with them and you realize you've never read the Bible in your life. You don't know one thing about Jesus Christ. Jesus of Nazareth, what he stood for, what he believed, and also the people who will use Jesus as some sort of justification for their politics. Let me just have this rant for a moment. The people who use Jesus as justification for their politics clearly don't know the Bible.
Could we please just get back to Leviticus and killing people for eating shellfish and mixing their fabrics and fun stuff like that?
Well, here's the thing, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because people who supposedly are Christians don't know the difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament. And the New Testament washes away all those things in the Old Testament. But more importantly, when you try to justify your politics with Jesus, you have bastardized the whole point of the good news or the coming of Christ, because it's about living individually in right relationship, not trying to tell people who to vote for, not telling people how to live, but how you live, that you have accepted Christ into your heart and you believe with your whole heart and confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. You then, talking about the rapture, they're asking the actual point here, then you then will have everlasting life for when he does return. Now, Jesus is just used as a stamp on your Twitter profile to say who you hate.
How dare you, Mo?
I'm just a Christian who happens to read the Bible every now and then.
I see.
But what do I know? It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly. Later with Mo Kelly, live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. I am a huge Mad Max fan. Huge. And I mention that because that goes back to the original before it turned into a cult classic. I saw that like when it first came out.
The first one? Not the Road Warrior?
No, the original Mad Max, where he's where his wife and daughter and child are killed.
By the toe cutter.
Toe cutter.
Yes.
And strangely enough, it turned into this franchise and phenomenon which took over. And most people, to your point, Mark, know Mad Max mostly because of the Road Warrior.
Greetings from the humongous, the Lord humongous, the warrior of the wasteland, the Ayatollah of
rock and roller.
I'm gravely disappointed. Again, you have made me unleash my dogs of war. Look at what remains of your gallant scouts. Why? Because you're selfish. You hoard your gasoline. You will not listen to reason. Now, my prisoners say you plan to take your gasoline out of the wasteland. You sent them out this morning to find a vehicle, a rig big enough to hold that fat tank of gas. What a puny plan.
It's never explicit. It's never quite explained, but there is some sort of apocalypse and the world has ended. It's descended into chaos. There are no laws or anything, but gas is the only thing which is really valuable post-apocalypse. There are people for the past 15 years who are looking to hang out in a Mad Max type environment right here in Southern California. And they are going to the Mojave Desert starting tomorrow for the annual Wasteland Weekend, a 5-day bash inspired by the post-apocalyptic franchises like Mad Max and Fallout. How either would be appealing, I have no idea.
You think you want that? You think you want the zombie apocalypse, but I promise you don't. You'll miss things like fresh food, plumbing, your medications, everything we need.
If you've actually watched the Mad Max trilogy, and it's more than a trilogy now because they've brought in, Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron, there is nothing good which happens to Max or anyone in the movies. No one turns out okay.
Unless you want to eat some dog food out of a can.
Oh, isn't that great?
And everybody loves the dog in the Road Warrior. And he makes a little cameo, I think, in one of the latest ones.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
And see, the thing is, there's nothing good. Everyone dies a horrible death, including Max is kind of alluded to. You don't know, but he gets shot in the first one, and they roll over his leg, so that's why he walks with a limp. Why he's wearing leather for the next 10 years in the Australian outback in the summer, I don't know.
Well, because it looks cool.
Looks cool.
It looks uncomfortable and hot and sweaty.
I don't know. Eddie Murphy's, he's been on burning hot stages under the spotlight. He wears that leather.
But he not for 16 years.
Well, the thing is, everybody in the Mad Max universe smells horrible.
Horrible. That's what I think about, because no one has had a shower in decades.
No, or a bidet.
There's no toilet paper either.
Oh, God.
Everything is just horrible. And now why you would want to emulate that?
That's what you use the dog for.
Now, it was cool to watch. Now, that Ford Falcon, the Interceptor that Max would drive, I wanted that car growing up.
Oh, yeah.
It was great.
The ultimate muscle car.
But other than that, there was nothing cool about the world, the wasteland of Mad Max. Now, people are going out for this wasteland weekend, this 5-day party, and tickets are sold out.
I mean, it's kind of like the one that just passed.
It's kind of like Burning Man.
Burning Man, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Burning Man, but I guess this has more of a motif where people are dressing up and acting like, Lord Humongous, and they even have pro wrestling, which has gone out there. So yeah, I get it, and there's nothing wrong with cosplay, but the whole idea of being in the desert and acting like those who are from the Mad Max movie seems like it's completely unfun.
No,
I met the guy.
LARPing.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. This is LARPing in the desert. This could be a good time.
I like being able to have a shower. I like not being sweaty all the time. I like not smelling other people.
Or having your fingers cut off with a boomerang.
Oh, that was a great scene.
Yes, it was. I met Vernon Wells, who plays Wes, and you won't be surprised to find out that he is an absolute sweetheart of a guy.
Didn't he pass on?
Let me check.
I think so.
I hope not. He's a real fixture at Comic-Cons and stuff. No, he's still around.
Okay, it's kind of hard to keep track because there's so many great characters. Like, who runs Bartertown? Master Blaster. Master Blaster runs Bartertown. It's some great stories, great movies. I wouldn't want to live it. I would not want to live in a city which was run by pig feces.
Well, when you put it that way, no. But here's what I want to know. The woman who plays the warrior woman in the middle one, the road warrior, where do they find hair crimpers in a post-apocalypse universe?
Same thing. How does she curl her hair? Because that's not natural.
It's a crimper from the 80s.
But she was hot, though.
Yes, she was.
She was very, very hot. And I don't know how people were wearing white back then either.
Some of the fashion choices were not rational given the circumstances.
I just didn't understand the obsession with the gas. It's like, where were you going?
They were trying to get to the promised land.
No. I understand the people in the Road Warrior were trying to get to the promised land. But as far as the Lord Humongous and all of them, why did they want the gas? They weren't going anywhere. They weren't trying to sell the gas.
They needed the gas. They could go out on the road and rape and pillage. Find stuff, find people who are out there maybe on their way to the promised land, attack them, take their vehicles, take their weapons, eat them, do whatever it is they're going to do, and get back. They have to have gas enough to get back to their base.
No. You got it all wrong. They're trying to find a post-apocalyptic BDSM bar. Look at these guys and how they're dressed. You got to be kidding me.
It was Bruce Spence, the gyro captain.
Yeah, the pilot. Yeah.
Yeah. He was an underrated character, and he appeared in more than one of them.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And it's almost like, wait a minute, that's the same guy, but he's playing two different characters.
Those first two were great. I didn't love the third one. I think the second one is an absolutely perfect action movie, and I've seen it more times than I can count.
I thought that there were more comedic moments in Beyond Thunderdome. That's the third one with Tina Turner. It's funny, but it got to be absurd at that point.
Also, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds here, but the third one, I'm finding out, is almost completely stolen from a novel called Ridley Walker. If you've never heard of it, do some Googling, and it's very strange.
I just love Bartertown, and I think that was a great addition to the Mad Max world.
Who runs Bartertown? Master Blaster. Master Blaster runs Bartertown. No, when we do Dying Time, I pulled that straight from Beyond Thunderdome. 2-man enter. 1-man lead.
You know that's a good line, Mark. We don't need another hero. I love
the
how
kids ruin everything.
I love how
I don't
they
like
had
the
someone
kids
out there singing. No, the kids do, but they had to get somewhere. And I love how they left Max just standing, just
on the road. They just drove away on the bus.
That's Max's fate. That's who he is.
Yeah. Yeah, but that hurt. That cut deep.
A good death is a total reward.
You're dead to me.
You're more dead to me than your dead mother.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dying times here.
That was the apex of that movie, right there. When he was fighting Blaster.
With a mullet. A giant mullet.
Oh, wow.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. People are strange. KFI AM6.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Check out Vizio's complete lineup of home entertainment. From stunning smart TVs to immersive soundbars, Vizio has you covered. Experience entertainment like never before with hundreds of built-in apps, including Watch Free Plus for free live and on-demand TV, all ready to go right out of the box. You can even stream your favorite music, radio, and podcasts with the iHeartRadio app, available on every Vizio smart TV. Transform your entertainment with incredible picture quality and next-level audio. Visit Vizio.com today.
I'm Rodney Williams.
And I'm Travis Holloway. Welcome to the Wealth Break.
Let's be honest, building wealth doesn't look the same for everyone. It's not just about saving, it's about investing. It's about navigating systems that weren't built for you, embracing your hustle, and relying on your community to create something bigger.
And that's exactly why we created the Wealth Break. We made something different, something more human. It's not just another financial podcast. It's a conversation about real life, real struggles, and real wins.
We're here to talk about the journey. You'll hear from people who've broken barriers, found creative ways to succeed, and learned to build wealth on their terms. Whether it's the first-time homeowner, a gig worker, or someone turning a side hustle into a six-figure business, we're bringing you their stories.
And we're not stopping at success stories. We're breaking down the realities, like what it means to take risk, how to navigate failure, and why resilience matters. Because wealth isn't about money. It's about creating a life where you can thrive and help others to do the same.
So if you're ready for a podcast as much as about people as it is about money, you're in the right place.
Listen to the Wealth Break podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
40 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640.
Live everywhere on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. And if you should happen to train tigers or work with tigers or hang out with tigers or kick it with tigers, there's a good chance that you may end up dead by a tiger because they're not pets. They're not your friend. I don't care if Mike Tyson had a tiger as a pet. It's not a pet. It's a dangerous wild animal.
No, they're cute, and those noses deserve to be booped.
They are from a distance.
Oh.
Not actually in your presence. And so when I saw the story that Joe Exotic's associate was mauled by a tiger during a tiger show, I can't say I'm upset. And I know that may sound heartless, but if you're trying to tame tigers, there's a good chance you may end up eaten. And that's what happened to Ryan Easley. He was handling the tiger during the Saturday show at the Growler Pines Tiger Preserve when the park says Easley was suddenly set upon by the tiger, which grabbed him around his neck and shoulder area. Because tigers are predators, they know how to kill their prey And what happened to Siegfried and Roy? I don't know which
one was it. Siegfried or Roy?
We'll say Sigroy.
Does it matter?
Sigroy got jacked up.
Yeah, Sigroy. It grabbed him by the neck and dragged him across the stage. Well, not different from that. Easley evidently was grabbed by the neck and violently shaken, not stirred.
Is it like an old Warner Brothers cartoon where a tiger looks at a human being and what they see is a delicious steak steaming?
Yes.
I think that's part of it. And I think in the back of the tiger's mind is saying, like, you know, I'm tolerating this. You do know that I can kill you at any moment, right?
That's one nose boob too many, bud.
And I can't get away. So I'm going to go ahead and take the free food that you give me. But the moment you piss me off, you go too far, I'm going to bite you in your neck and drag you across the stage. And that's what happened.
Not very grateful. Show some gratitude.
More free food, though.
Have you said thank you once?
Where'd you get that from?
I don't know. I forget. It's in the zeitgeist.
If you're wondering what Joe Exotic had to say, he said on Twitter/X, quote, "First of all, I would like to send my prayers to Ryan Easley's family for their loss. I have known Ryan for many years. He built a large compound on the backside of my zoo to house his tigers during the winter one year about 15 or so years ago." And he goes on to say, don't blame the tigers. No one should blame the tigers.
No.
Tigers are in captivity. Tigers didn't ask to be in captivity. And yes, the tigers are going to kill people on occasion because why? They're tigers.
The tiger just went tiger. You cannot blame a tiger that has been forced to do tricks to not just say, you know what, mofo? Watch. Tomorrow, when you walk up to me, I'm going to wait till you turn your back, and that's your ass.
Yeah, you do know that, and you know, but I'm saying people sometimes forget all animals have bad moods. They have bad days. They're like any other living creature. You know, catch them in the wrong moment, bad things are going to happen.
Oh, you ought to see the cat videos Tuala and I send each other when they turn on their owners. It ain't pretty.
Yeah, it happens to the worst of them.
Yeah, they put the ears back. You know you're going to get messed up. Also, imagine how pissed a tiger'd be after years of being forced to say they're great.
I hate you.
I mean, come on.
I hate you, Mark. I hate you with a passion. How dare you bring Tony the Tiger into this? Freaking frosted.
They're not
flakes.
your playthings.
That's the only tiger you could have thought of, huh?
What did you want?
I don't know.
Which tiger were you hoping for?
Tiger Woods, shoot.
No, you can't go Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods never attacked and mauled anyone.
No, he only attacked prostitutes. Or no, porn stars. Porn stars. I'm sorry.
Pornitutes.
Okay.
Thank you for delineating between them.
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere. The iHeartRadio app.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
I'm Rodney Williams.
And I'm Travis Holloway. Welcome to the Wealth Break Podcast, a real conversation about finance.
Let's be honest. Building wealth doesn't look the same for everyone.
I feel like sometimes being broke is a cycle and that we might have to revisit that.
And we're not stopping at success stories.
What happens when it doesn't go right? How do you cope with it?
Because wealth isn't just about money. It's about creating a life where you thrive and help others do the same.
Listen to the Wealth Break Podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Check out Vizio's complete lineup of home entertainment. From stunning smart TVs to immersive soundbars, Vizio has you covered. Experience entertainment like never before with hundreds of built-in apps, including Watch Free Plus for free live and on-demand TV, all ready to go right out of the box. You can even stream your favorite music, radio, and podcasts with the iHeartRadio app, available on every Vizio smart TV. Transform your entertainment with incredible picture quality and next-level audio. Visit Vizio.com today.